Meet Susan, the nosy neighbor who thought she ruled the block. She reported my 92-year-old grandma for gardening on our family plot. Minutes later, her fancy subdivision lost access to their shared driveway worth $1.5 million. She never saw it coming. Here's the full story of sweet revenge. Susan made the ultimate blunder of her life. She dialed the police on my 82-year-old grandma for tending flowers on our own yard. 3 minutes later, her subdivision forfeited a $1.5 million access right, and she was totally oblivious to what hit her. Let me spill the beans on how it all unfolded. We hold a vast piece of property right beyond the suburbs, 15 acres, featuring a serene garden bursting with roses, tulips, and sunflowers. It stayed in our lineage for 4 generations. My grandma planted those beds with her bare hands. She gardens there every Saturday afternoon, come hell or high water in her faded sunbonnet and rocking chair. Now bordering the edge on the far side of a modest hedge is a posh enclave governed by, surprise, surprise, Susan and her subdivision rules. She despises that our plot isn't folded into their setup. She's pushed us to merge with the association and obey the rules several times. We graciously turned her down. Clearly, that ignited her control freak fire. So one afternoon, I'm lounging with tea on the veranda when I spot her charging over the rise from her turf. Cell in one grip, subdivision ledger in the other. She struts straight to the garden, where Grandma's kneeling quietly, with her trowel in the soil. "You can't plant here!" she bellows. "This garden falls under subdivision control. You're invading." She glanced up and serenely replied, "Miss, this ground is mine. Inherited since '72. Perhaps verify your map." But Susan ignored it. She dials emergency services right away, claiming an aggressive old lady, endangering her by communal greenery. I dashed over just as the patrol car arrived. Lights flashing and all, but here's the twist. This wasn't some random officer. It was Officer Reyes, a longtime pal of my uncle's. She's picnicked in our garden since she was a kid. She quizzed Susan on the issue and she jabs at Grandma and declares that woman has zero permission to stay. Reyes simply eyed her and stated, "Miss, this garden is purely personal turf. You've hopped her hedge. You're the intruder here, actually." Susan turned ashen, and that's when the real fun kicked in. As Reyes schooled her, I headed to the shed and fetched our title papers. Contract hidden within a tiny provision I'd completely overlooked. One that nullified communal access privileges over our grounds if subdivision heads launched any lawsuits or bogus accusations against the landowner. What did Susan just pull? Exactly, that access vanished, which spelled doom for their subdivision's quick path to the park, their golf cart lane, and their exclusive power line.